Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a brand new video. This week on the old Magic Roundabout, we got an old Dinky Toys Bedford dust cart. Here we go, old dust cart. And as you watch this go around, I'd just like to welcome any new friends to the channel. Thanks very much for joining. I hope you stay around. And welcome back all the old friends of the channel. Thanks very much for sticking with me. It's much appreciated, and look forward to your comments at the end of every video. Yeah, so we got an oldie to do today. Here we go. So let's get it off the Magic, get it on a bench and have a good look at it. Alrighty then, here we are. Let's get this, a spare door in the back there. Right, as you can see from there, Dinky Toys Bedford Meccano Limited. That's what this is. It's a bit play worn. It's a bit sad looking. But there you go, that's what it's all about. Might be able to tweak that cab back a little bit, we'll see. I'm going to force it to snap it. Colours, they did these in 2 or 3 different types of colours. I don't mind this, like a fawny brown, tan colour, whatever, with green lift up lids. It's got both headlights, which is good. Red hubs, and this works in a fashion. There you go, it works. I'm not going to force it too much without cleaning it. There you go. Yeah, very often than not, these slip. It's not to do with the twisty bit, it's to do with the gear underneath, and I'll show you when we get it apart. And to replace these, to buy a repo part from like model supplies, is quite expensive for what it is. Okay, right, so let's get and have a look at it. Same old format with this one. Need to get this back off first. Okay, it's only a little crimp pin on the back there. Whip that off, and then you can get at the fold down pins on here. So I'm going to wash my hands. Look at the blue, because I've been doing painting, so apologies for that. I just want to get this one started while I'm waiting for paint to dry over there. I shall go and wash my hands, and then we'll get this apart. Okay then, let's get into this then, shall we? Right, like I said before, there's a bar on the back there, and you get that out. It's a crimp one, so just file one end off and you'll be fine. It should just pull out. There you go, that's that out. That releases the body. You might have to wind it up to get it off, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe not, I don't know. There's a way of getting this out of here. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll just leave it up a little bit, actually. That might be favourite. Just leave it at top of this screw thing up. And it'll probably come out easier. Says he trying to force it. Try and get it in an angle. Right, okay, let's just leave that for a second. Hang on a minute, I might be able to get it. Let's get your pliers on it. I'd rather get it out of the way and just give it a bit of a bend. It might come out a bit easier. There you go, it's got it off. Yeah, you got to just bend that a little bit, get it off. We'll deal with this in a minute. So there's your windy piece. Right, so now we've got to get these off. Alright, so you can get your screwdriver, just bend them up. 1, 2, Yeah, I think we should be able to get away with 2. If I remember right. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Ah, there's one at the back there as well, isn't there? Yeah, there's one at the back. Sometimes these have been really bent in. These are normally they're not bent in as far as that. That's 1, 2, and 3. And that should now, in theory, come out. There you go. Yeah, it's a bit stiff, it's a bit old. And I think that slides out from that end, yeah, so you lift it up and pull it back, yeah? Yeah, she's a bit rusty in there. Get rid of the front axles. And these are different sizes if I remember rightly. See, front and back. That's your back is your longest set. Right, now you've got your mechanism, as you can see. What it's all about, just a little cog there. Alright, so you can lift that out, like so. Now this is what normally goes. It normally wears, you can see the line where it's been wearing through there. This is where it normally wears, and it starts slipping. I haven't found a source of replacement for these yet. I'll keep looking to see if I can find a replacement set of these, because you can see the little lines there where this cog digs in, and this is where it gets worn. You can, yeah, not this one, you can't. You can pull that out, and there, if you have a look now, you can see where it's worn. It's there, and there as it goes round. I have tried filing and messing about with these, trying to get them a bit better, but they never work correct. So that's that. And that's your other piece. See, their teeth on that are pretty good. It's just that cog, it's just this, what gets worn. Right. So that's those 2. That's the axles. Now, there's bloody cobwebs in here, look. That's how old this is. These, this is it's a push fit, and then it's like spread on the other side, so be careful these don't break them. Alright, and you have a close look. Some you can lever them out, but we'll give it a little test to see if it will come out, because some will lever out, but be careful you don't break the headlights, obviously. Some people grind that back, but that one there, this side, is nearly out. So we'll have to have a look, see if we can give this one a little bit of a tweak over, and it might come out. That's why I was trying to pull it. I was trying to get it out from this side, because it's already half out, and it might just have enough to pull it out the socket. But anyway, I think we got it. Just be careful. Yeah, I think we've got it. Let's just persist a little bit and see what happens. There you go, it's out. Okay, yeah, you can see that this side was, it's not focusing. Yeah, the left side was not quite in, so that's okay, it's come out intact. But a lot of people will grind that off. You can grind it off and it'll glue straight back on, so it's not a real problem. But I thought I'd give it a go and see see how it goes. So going back will be a similar sort of operation. Put one side in, hook it over, and then push that back in. Right, so that's the grill. So there we have it, that's ready for stripping now, that bit. Alrighty, so is that, so is that. I'll just clean that off. That's all this. Right, let's deal with the back end. Right, the back end, where the door goes, there is a piece missing off of this. So I'm going to show you on another one what's missing. This sits in there, this replacement part. This sits in there like so. But there's a piece missing, if you notice, across there. And what's missing is this here. It's that bar there. What goes through. Now this bar, if you can see, basically all it does is go, oh, let me just so I can get, I don't know if you'll see it, it just goes in there and bends. Alright, it's got a little bend in it. I don't know if you can quite see it, lift the light up a bit. You know, you can't see it very well, because it's behind that, there it's behind this. It's just basically a little, it's just bent round. It goes through the hole and bent round slightly. That's all it is. So we've got to get a replacement one of them. We'll do that out of a piece of old axle or something. So that's just showing you what's missing. Okay. This piece. Right. I'll get back out again. That's too much for me. Right. Two little rivets. There and there. Or little posts. Get them out. That should get the base off. Alright, so we'll get that. I'll get and drill them out. And then we'll get the base off. Which looks like it slides that way. Because you've got these pieces here, there and there. So it'll slide out that way. And then we can get to whatever it is we're going to do. Oh, hang on. To do with the top. It looks like there's a couple of folding pins there, but we'll look at them when we take the base off. So we're just going to drill them out. Shan't be back in a minute. Okay, just give them a pop them, then get your screwdriver in from the back and lift her up, and it should just pull one way or the other. Slide her out. Okay, there you go. So that's that out. Then that leaves this piece here. So let's have a look, see. That must, those folds. Ah, yeah, those folds hold this centerpiece in. Okay, so where is it? Is it where they folded from? I can say. Let's have a dig in there. Have a little dig about, son. Have a little dig about. Find out where they are. It'll go down, up and round, so it must be this side. Feel something there. Excuse me, I'll get out of shot there. I'll get a bit carried away when you can just leave her up in there. Get her up. Get her up there. Giddy up, giddy up. It's just getting underneath. Just get the edge to get underneath. Got a skinnier screwdriver. That might do it. It's just to get underneath the top edge or the bottom edge, or whichever you're trying to lift up. There you go. Alright, so you can get the pliers on it now. Gently, don't want to snap them. You don't want to snap them off. And hopefully, this will come out. Might want to give it a little tap holder. The old tickling stick. Just getting it. There you go. Pop. It's gone. Alrighty. So that's that. That's that. That's what popped out. So that's where it's come from. So obviously your doors have to go on the top. This should be interesting putting this back together, won't it? This should be interesting putting this back together. So that'll go in there, like so. Like that. These will have to go from the inside, like so. Well, that can't be right, can it? Yeah. From the inside, they're like that. Then you can slide them on through. Okay, so that's how they go back together. Now the washer came out, and I did the washer on the top. I think the washer was underneath for some reason or another. I can't see a washer mark on the top, so I'll imagine it's come from underneath. Yeah, looks like it. I'll imagine a washer went on. It probably acted as like a spacer. Yeah, like that. A spacer to enable these to go in. So where you could put it in. So I like to just go, before I strip too much, push that in there like that. That's held in place, glued. Yeah, and then you got it there, look. There you go. Yeah. So I would say the washer goes underneath. Yeah, definitely. It gives it that space. Lifting it off there. Right. Whether I re-rivet these or glue these two bits, I don't know. We're definitely going to have to glue that in. It's a bit tight, but we'll glue it in. So that's ready for the stripper. That's it. We mustn't lose that washer. There we have this one stripped. There's another one stripped. Another one bites the dust. Okay. Hope you found that interesting. It is good to do these because sometimes you forget, or you haven't done one before. And I personally haven't done a dust cart before. So that was new to me. So you'd have to excuse me going through umming and ahhing and thinking, oh, you know, how do I do this? Because it's thought process as you're doing it. You've got to appreciate that. So there we are. That's it. Get the old bench of white now. Stripping time. Okay, before we go into stripping, I've just drilled the 2 holes in there. I was thinking about gluing it, but I thought, no, I'll drill the 2 holes in there. So I'm now just test fitting it before I strip everything. I've got to flatten a bit of that base. There's a bit of a kink in there. I'm using these 1.5mm rivets. I've got them off eBay. You'll have to search around because I can't remember the seller now. It was a while ago because I don't use these very often. And these are designed for Matchbox and Hot Wheels. Hence they're a bit fiddly to pick up. Oh, it's gone rolling up. There it is. I tend to use them on some of the Corgis and Matchbox, which are Corgis and Dinkies, which have got small rivets in. So there you go, that fits in their retreat. And they look very much similar to the ones that came out. There you go. So it's always best to give it a dry fit. Yeah. So you keep yourself on track. Alrighty. Come on out there, bugger. There you go. So yeah, you'll have to look on I look on eBay. I can't remember. I think it was an old seller. I'm not sure if it's continuing or not, but I've got a few left in here. Yeah, but I'll do another search and see if I can find some more. Yep, so then we just pull that back out again. It's a bit tight at the end because it's a bit kinked now. I need to strain it out. Right, okay. Here we are then. We're all, excuse me, brought out the caustic soda and cleaned up best we can. Cab. Come up nice. I took the casting lines that would cross over the bumper. Took them out. Apart from that, it's okay. Straight. It's not bent. Right angles. So that's cool. We're all good to go on that one. The business end, the bin end, it's okay. Come out nice. The doors. There you go. Got to do a bit of metal work on this. Straighten this out. It's a bit bent in places, like as you can see. Yeah, so we're doing that in a minute. I'll put that to one side. The base plate of the cab, the chassis. Here we go. Radiator grill. It's all done. I cleaned up the riser. Those teeth in there look all right. This is where the wear is, in here, on these. You see a little line. You see the line around there. Look, I'll get a pointer. You'll see better with a pointer. Get focused. There it is. Like little lines on there. Well, that's where the gear runs on the same one all the time. And you can see it a bit better there. Look, it's starting to chew the edge away. I have tried to repair these with. I tried Super Duper. I've tried Araldite. I've tried that liquid metal, but it doesn't hold. It's too thin. The fins are too thin to leave anything. The best I've managed is to run a file along the edges and try and reset them, but without success. I don't know where I can get these things from. They're only a push fit, but I don't know where I can get them from. But anyway, that's another story. That's it. We're all done. But I will show you though, I've got a couple of these figures. I forgot to mention these at the beginning. I mean, they're not exactly dustbins, but they're near enough. Because these guys carted round in the old days, who carted on the shoulder. I've got these are O scale. I got them from companies sidelines. These are railway things really at the end of the day. O scale ABS models. I don't know if they're in existence now. I got them off eBay. I thought they just do a little bit. Yeah, because the old dustman used to wear overalls, a jacket, usually a donkey jacket, and carry the dustbins on the shoulders. Okay, so I've got to paint them up. That'll be interesting. Right, primer, paint. Yeah, I'll just show you this bit of masking. Well, how I'm doing this, because I want black mud guards, or black wings, or whatever they call them. I want the back half to be black, chassis to be black. So I'll do it this way around. You can do it the other way around if you want. Do the green first, or this colour first, and then mask that up. I find it easier to mask up this way around. Yes, that's just me. Like I said in a previous video, that you find your own best way of doing things. Now, I usually use 2 to 3 mil masking tape. This is Tamiya. I have got some of that flexible tape, this one from Tamiya, but I seem to get on better with this. So what I've done here, I always put a thin line down there first, as close to the bodywork as possible. I use tweezers, and I use a toothpick to get it all down as best I can. Okay, so I want it this side to go like this side. I've mashed the bumper up because that's going to be black. So yeah, this way you get your line where you want it to go. And then I just get a bit wider and just fill it in. in there. I'm hoping should be okay. Should be fine. I'll use this one. Oh yeah, I've got this, and I've got the these are Tamiya tapes, but I've also got a large roll of that frog tape for delicate paint. I should be using that on the back. So just a matter of just taking the time and filling it in where need be. I'll burnish it down with a cocktail stick. Hopefully that'll stop bleed through. I don't think you ever stop bleed through. You're always going to get it in one way or another. Just tuck all the end. I don't like bits of masking flapping about all over the place, because the spray gets hold of it and you'll splatter where you don't want it to splatter. So it makes it a bit harder to take it off at the end, but it's easier for me. Like I say, it's all a matter of personal preference. Ain't it, John? Now I want under the wheel arches, I want them because they're going to be black. So I'll just slap a bit underneath there. I'm not the world's greatest masker. Tell you that now. But we get it done. Get the job done, don't we? Get the job done. It's all little bits, but I ain't got a problem with the little bits. So just fathom out the best way. That's it. Just chuck it in there like that. That'll do. Right. So I'll carry on with this now. I showed you a little bit of it. Okay. So we're going to mask up around there. Do this here, and then I shall mask up the back of this. All right. And I'll just basically wind the tape around there. Okay. Okay, I'll just quickly show you this. Just painted it the green, and I started demasking it. As you can see, the pile of masking tape over there. So far so good. This side came out alright, so I just thought I'd show you the last little piece. This is the important piece. All the rest of it, this is the important piece, getting it in here. Now I use a pair of tweezers, and I also use a toothpick, because you get the ends with this, but when you're getting near paintwork like this, you really need to use a toothpick to get a tail on it. And what I always do, because my paint is not completely dry, it's like I can touch it slightly. Yeah, I always find it best to take the masking tape off then. What I do then, I peel it away from the fresh paint. Yeah, so don't peel it straight up like that, because you'll like to rip it. Yeah, you'll get rips in your paint. So pull it away. You can see that. Look, pull it away at an angle. Yeah, and slowly. Get a grip of it now. These tweezers are a bit long. Put it away slowly, because sometimes if the paint is soft, depending on what paint you're using, if you pull it away slowly, it will lift slightly, but it will go back, if you know what I mean. It will drop back. If you rip it real fast, you're liable to tear it. It's got a foot plate piece to do here now. just get a tail. And also, when you're pulling your masking off, try and do it in small pieces if you can, because otherwise, if you chuck a big chunk off, and while you're pulling it off the paint ever so carefully, the other end of it is flopping about and touching the paint, so be careful. Right, here we go to the last bit. There you go. So that's it. I don't think that's half bad. Pretty good. Pretty good. So that's how I do my masking. Okay. Right. Bugger off then. Right then. We're all lacquered up now. Okay. So all pretty good. All pretty lacquered up now. I'll put the front radiator back in, because I need to glue it in this time. And it was tight getting it in with the wings that I'd left over, and I was worried I was going to scratch the paint up, so I just ground them down a little bit and glued it in, so it's be fine. The front, I scraped the paint off this because I've used a semi-gloss black on this and gloss on the wings because it's a radiator, and I scraped the chrome pieces on there. Okay, so it's got to do the lights now, so I'm going to do the lights and the door handles. Okay, is basically it really, the details on this. I've got another one to do. I've seen it over there. I've been working out the best way I can put. Apparently there's 2 little lights on the mud guards here. I can put them in. Use your spotlight on the front. I can blink it up a bit more. I just wanted to get this one done. Yeah, so that's that. And this is the shell, the back shell. I haven't put the doors in, but I did put this in. Okay, I did this off camera because it's fiddly. You need to put this, if it's broken or you replace it, or you just took it out and you're going to put it back together, put this in first before you do anything else. Yeah, because if you don't, when you put the other piece in, what goes in here, you won't be able to bend those back because it'll be in the way. So this has got to go on first. I've got to put a little touch up of green on there where I caught it with the pliers, just there and there. It looks a bit wonky, but it's not really. There's a slot that it slides up and down on, as you can see. Okay, and it opens and shuts. All right. Now, what I use for the bar, I use one of the big paper clips, one of the big ones, like that. I use that, and it's strong, but it's soft to bend. So that's what I use for that. It ain't rocket science. If you got this far on your restorations, you should be able to do this easy enough. Just line it up, mark it, bend it. You see, like, it looks wonky, but it's not. It's this door what's making it look wonky. Yeah. So just bend it over. And all it is the original is bent over like that. If you see the original, this is an original. It's there. And inside there, as you can see, what I was on about, this plate here. I know I'm waffling on a bit, but some people need to know this. That plate there, if you put that in there, you ain't going to get in there and get these bent over. So this has to go on first. All right. Okay. You don't want it too tight, or else it ain't going to open and shut properly. It needs to flop about. Okay, so I've got the bin men in primer. I don't know whether I'm going to have the time to paint these on camera or not, because it's going to take a while to paint these. Okay, and it's Sunday now, and this needs ready for Wednesday. So yeah, I'll try and get them painted. Okay, ugly little bugger, isn't he? Hey, that's Fred and Harry. Fred and Harry. Okay. Right. So we'll get the magic carpet out, and I'm going to just do them headlights. You see that? Do that, and then we'll get the magic carpet out and we'll get it assembled. Okay, here we go. Assembly time. Well, I've just completed doing a dry run. And I'll tell you what, it didn't look pretty. Had a problem. And it was all to do with this little washer there. The one what I assumed came out of this. And I think I assumed wrongly. that little bugger there. Well, I assumed it went in there before this went on, like that. And I put the doors in. I thought I'll give it a dry run. And I scratched it, look. And yeah, it wasn't where the doors weren't shutting properly. They were tight on one end. It was rocking, and there was a gap here. And I thought, nah. And I was puffing and puffing and trying to work it out. And I thought, what's going on here? So I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll take the washer out, and it seems to be a lot better. So I got a little scratch on the inside, but you're not going to see that because it's upside down. Right, okay, so we need to assemble this first. So what we need to do is get the doors in there. Hopefully this time it'll work. I did dry run it. All right, I thought the idea of the washer was to give it space to maneuver these doors up and down. But I've just tried it a couple of times and it was fine without it. They went in a lot better. So anyway, make sure these are straight. These here, if they're bent, it's not going to work. And make sure your tabs at the top, they're all okay. And you drop that in there. It's a bit fiddly. Right, okay, so that's in there now. Put your fingers on the top and then flip it over and you'll see your tabs poking through there and there. All right, okay. With holding that like that, then these should quite easily maneuver up and down, which they do. Which I wasn't having it in the before. It was rocking, and it was rocking on that washer. Right, so what I'm going to do now, as you can see, that's how it is. Okay, so I just give you doors in first. Drop this on top, make sure your pegs are through. Okay, and now I'm going to have to put these on there. You got to hold. It's awkward to do it with the camera in front of me, so apologies, I'm going to have to. But what you got to do is you got to bend these. You got to bend these, tweak these back in there. Okay, so I'll do that and I'll get back to you. Okay, just finished it. Yeah. After having to hold this and trying to these, because the tabs are short. As you know, the shorter something like that is, the harder it is to push down. So we got to go in. We got to work in. There you go. Up and down. Up and down. So that's that completed. Next thing, slide this. Got to go in there and there. I've got it on wide angle at the minute. So excuse the mess on the bench. It's a lot easier for me. Otherwise it's too close and it's awkward. Yeah, slide this in. Up over the holes like that. So now you've got your two holes. Alright. So now we can glue those rivets in. Now we know everything else is working. People say to me, well, you super glue your rivets in if you want to take it apart again. Well, I'll tell you something. These rivets, wherever they are, they're only aluminium. So they drill dead easy. I tried it. And you can drill them out dead easy. So no worries there. They're not like the die-cast posts. Okay, so don't worry. They're all unless you buy solid metal rivets, and that's down to you, isn't it? But for these little jobbies, these little aluminium rivets are fine. Right, there you go. Let that set for a second. You can carry on with the other. I'll leave it down there. Right, so that's that bit done. Now we get on with this bit. Let's get this bit out of the way first. Straight in there, like so. Alright, bit of jiggery pokery. There you go, that's in. Turn it. Now, if I can get this, remember rightly, I'm just trying to think which was the best way to put this in. Put it in like that. Will I be able to get this on? Yeah, should be able to get that on there. Tweak that round. So I'm just trying to work it out if I can put this on there. Yeah, I can do, can't I? Let me just straighten that tip out a little bit there. Make life a lot easier. See what I'm thinking? I can put this in here. Or I might have to attach it on here first, which might be better. Yeah, it might be easier to attach that on there. Do you not think so? Oh, I can't bloody remember now. Just give that a little tweak over if we're going to do this. Okay. So we'll drop that on there then. It drops straight out again, as it does. No, it can't do. No, it can't do. It's got to come. No. No, it can't do. You have to put this in here because the base plate covers this. Right, okay. Drop that in there, like so. Now you want your axles. You want your short one at the front and your long one at the back. The short one at the front, your long one at the back. Okay, so I'll put it around this way for me, it's a lot easier. So like that, you've got your lever and your gubbins in. Get your base plate. Now your base plate sits. There's a little notch just behind that wheel. There, you see it? There. So that wing there sits in there. You'll see as I put it in. Okay. So it sits in tight up against when you've got the... Oh, it's one of them days today, I'll tell you now. I'm about to go and buy a new washing machine this morning. It's not happy. Not happy. Yeah, that's it. You just push it underneath there. And then, hopefully, without that bit falling out, these tabs should push, there you go, push through. Like so. Now you can put your tabs down now. One. 2, 3. Okay, that's your tabs down. So we've got a rolling chassis. We should have, at all intents and purposes, a twisty bit. Yeah, looks like it. Okay. Right, now, this bit has got to fit on here. Like so. Should be able to turn. There you go. It turns. You put your bar through then. I want to glue one end of this bar because it doesn't matter, because these are rock hard to squash flat, because there's not a lot of room. There's definitely not a lot of room. I'll get the thing to sit straight. There you go. It's through. All right. Okay. We're on. We're in. Does it work? Yep. Of a fashion. All right. Okay. Alrighty. So now, as you can see, like, there's not a lot of room for that pin at the back, so I'm just going to put a bit of super duper on there. That'll hold that in place. There you go. Right, let's leave that for a minute now. That's it. We're done. Yes, I'm sorry for that to do the back off view, not the close up view like I normally do, because there's a lot of fiddly bits, and with it close up like that, and you're looking through the camera, it's very off putting. So that's the pesky washer. That strains that. Yeah, that cost me nearly 40 minutes trying to sort that out. So there you go. Yeah. So we're all working anyway. There you go. Just got to do a bit of touching up, a bit of black on there, where I'll push them over. But for all intents and purposes, we're all working, and we're all going. It's a bit tight. It wants a bit of grease in it, I think. Yeah, there you go. All right, the door's swinging open. So we are all done for dumping rubbish. Okay. Wind her down. And we're in business. Hook her up. That's it. Job done. Job done. There you go. Close up, boy. Yeah, it looks all right. Let's get on the old magic then. Like I say, these guys, at the moment, I haven't painted them, but I'm going to put it on the magic and whatever. Hopefully, when it comes to upload the video, we'll see if I've got them done or not. If not, you'll see them at some point. This is what we started with. Dinky Toys Bedford dust cart. For around about the 1950s, I would say these were. The old dust carts, mate, as they were. So now, have a look. See what he did with it. See if you like it. Have a look at this. Okay, here we are, all done and dusted. Dinky Toys dust cart. Yeah, a bit of a mission, putting that back piece, the sliding doors in, but we got it done. In the end, it's all operating. So that's all cool. Got the wire nails all working and everything, so we're all good to go. Right, I've put a bit of oil in it. Just can't get my hands in there now. But yeah, it's all operating. A few extra details and everything else on it. Yeah. Well, there you go. Another one bites the dust. And onwards and upwards to the next restoration. Yeah, it's a nice little model, this. Yeah, just be careful when you put it back together again. Make sure it's all operating before you shut it up, and put that back door piece in. Make sure that goes in before you put the sliding doors back. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Look forward to your comments. Appreciate everybody, and look after yourselves. Be happy and be lucky if you can. We'll see you later. So bye for now. And we'll cut it round about here. Cut.